Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Wedding to Wife podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Allen, and I am here with Miss Marrica. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I am so excited because you are on a staycation
I am
solo
by myself
without your child,
and
without your
Lord,
man.
my husband.
Yes. Okay. So I I am so in this space right now where yes, I want to talk about all the mom and wife things but I want to talk about how important it is as an entrepreneur, a wife, a mom to take this time that you're taking right now. I think it's so fitting that this is where you are. So first, I guess my first question for you, I'm acting like everybody that's listening to this knows who you are. Let's back up. Let's back up. Like we on the phone. Let's just back let's just back up.
This is how it goes every time we talk. Like, hey, girl, what's going on?
Let's just back up. Okay, Marcus. So tell all of these amazing people the greatness that I get to witness you do all the time.
Oh, thanks. Well, my name is Marrica Evans. I am a digital content photographer and influencer marketing manager, and a wife and a mom and all the things. But essentially, I have a passion for all things content. I have a passion for digital content specifically. My photography business was birthed out of me just wanting to see more quality content be delivered by people who look like me. And I would see, especially in the amazing city of Dallas, I watch all bloggers, all influencers, no matter race, ethnicity, or niche online. And I noticed that when it came to influencers, um, that look like me, Black American influencers, that we were not fully aware of how much money there was to be made in this industry. But
Mm,
in order to access a certain amount of money, you have to put out a certain level of quality of
right.
content, especially back when my business started. Like now, it's pretty acceptable to kind of just pull out your phone and record a video. But when I started, it was like, what camera are you using? What lens are you
Right.
using? And I felt like my community was pretty behind in that regard. And so I would go places, and I started out in the natural hair industry. My influencer name at the time was Flaunt Your Fro, so everybody knew me by my hair. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where I started. I wanted to get into like influencing, but I just naturally would fall behind the camera rather than in front of it. I was
Okay.
always gravitating to taking the photo rather than jumping in to get my photo taken. And so from that, a lot of the influencers got to know me as the girl with the camera, and people would be like, "Hey, are you gonna be at this event? Because if you're there, I'm gonna dress up cute because I know I'm gonna get a good picture from you."
Mm,
And so that's kind of how people started to know me as like the girl who takes the pictures of the influencers. But then I would watch other influencers who were getting brand deals or like being flown out on trips. And I would try to see like what's the difference between them and us, because I know a bunch of us. Like I
right.
see y'all all the time. Like, why aren't y'all getting these deals? And I realized it's because nobody was taking pictures of us. Like
Mm,
the other bloggers that I watched, they had photographers, and our community was like putting up their tripod and taking pictures of themselves. And there's
right.
a time and a place when you need that. Like as a content creator, you should be able to snap a quick photo of yourself.
Right.
But to really grow influencing as a business, you can't do it alone. And so that's when I was like, I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to help influencers who may not have that skill set to like go out and buy the camera and set it up and shoot themselves. I want to be able to assist them in creating that content. So that's kind of where my business came about. And when I graduated college, I went on 2 job interviews, and I was like, this is ghetto. Um, I specifically remember a job interview. I don't know who it was for. I don't remember the name, but I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was sitting in the lobby, and it was like 10 of us waiting. And,
Mm,
and I was like, my interview was at 1, it's 1, but it's 10 people sitting right here. And I sat
right.
there for 30 minutes, and I was like, do you know what I could have done in 30 minutes? Do you know how many
Right.
people, like my brain literally went to like, do you know how many outfits I could have shot with a blogger in 30 minutes, but I'm sitting right here. And so I literally walked out and I was
Mm.
like, I gotta give it a shot. I gotta see where this takes me. And so I was like, if it fails, I could just come back and sit in the lobby. But if it don't,
Mm.
then I'm
Right.
so that's when I graduated college. I moved out of my apartment with my college roommate. And I moved in with my aunt and I just put it out there. I renamed my business. I was like Photos by the Fro because everybody knew me as Flantra.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I changed my name to my name because I was like, I want people to know me as
Right.
the photographer and not like some caricature or
Right.
thing you can't remember. I want people to hear my name and know who that is and what I do.
Right.
So I changed my name. I posted. I was like, "Hey, I'm a photographer who shoots influencers, business on," and I just kind of let it be known this is what I want to shoot,
Right.
and it just snowballed. Like people was at first, I was like afraid because the people who I was taking pictures of, they were used to me just taking their pictures because we became like friends in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You see me out, I take your picture, I give you my camera, you take my picture, whatever. But I was like, I wonder how people are gonna take this now that I've made it a business. This
When I
not
send this invoice.
yeah, this not just us going to brunch and I'm taking your picture. It's like this is legit. And so it took off. Like I was booked and busy and I still am to this day.
I'm
That was
always
10
I'm
years
always
later.
interested when I see you working with you work with people like on a pretty consistent basis. Like you're, pumping out content for these people 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Are they paying you the same rate every single time, or is it different then? It's like, oh, I'll give you a discount because
No, it's the same.
like I'm gonna need all that today and tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the same. It's no. Yep. Every if you see me outside with my camera in my hand, I got paid and everybody paid the same.
Yeah. No, I think that's absolutely great because no matter what,
But I
like,
also think that no, that's actually a good question, and that's a question that nobody has ever asked me directly.
mm,
But people have always asked my clients,
gotcha.
"Oh, she's always shooting with you. Do you pay her every time?" And it's like, yeah, this not like a
Right.
yeah, like
Because
why
because 9 times out of 10 they're shooting with a purpose. And
yeah.
so
I think that's a good question because people see what I do and associate it with traditional photography.
mhm,
And traditional photography is priced different. And so when you think of it that way, you're thinking of like a traditional portrait session that might cost somebody X amount of
right.
dollars. And you're looking at that and saying, so is she paying that every day? But how my packages are curated and how they're priced is different than a traditional photographer's packages. So I feel like people see what I do and label it just as photography. And so
Mhm,
they try to go based off what they know photography to cost, which my price is still a very competitive price.
mhm,
However, I package mine with the influencer, the business owner in mind. So a lot of photographers, they have packages where you only get like 3 pictures. I
right.
my clientele can't do anything with 3 pictures.
Right.
Right?
Right.
My packages are priced to make sure that you're getting what you need for your business and for digital content, not just to print it out and put it over your fireplace. Those are two different customers and
Right.
those are two different price points. Those are two different workflows. So I think people go about it that way. Like if they know what photography costs, or they might know a photographer and they might
Mhm,
know prices from that person, and they go based off, well, if so and so shoot with so and so 5 times a month, so she got to be paying something like I know she ain't
right.
doing that. Like I feel like that's kind of
Right. Right.
where the questioning comes from, but it's all about just speaking to if there's any photographers that are listening, it's all about pricing for the customer that you want. And I created packages for a specific type of customer that aren't traditional.
So we had a conversation. I had a conversation with a makeup artist, and we were talking about um listing prices on your website. What is your take on showcasing what it costs before somebody even reaches out to you?
Um, there's different. phases in your business where I think it's a yes, I think it's a maybe, and then I think it's a nah, you should get on a call type of
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
So definitely when I first started out, that's what made my business what it is today. I didn't make you guess. I didn't make you question what I do, how I do it, how much
Mm-hmm.
it costs, how long, like everything was on display
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like talking to people, to be honest. I don't like um I don't want to convince you
Correct. Oh,
either
Lord.
work with me or I might not be for you, and that's okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I wasn't a discovery call type of person, and I'm still not a
Mm-hmm.
discovery call type of person. So my
Cause
price
what are we finna discover, baby? Discover that I can't. Like, what are we discovering? Like, I had a bride tell me, like, I want you to convince me that I should hire you. And
no.
I started laughing. And
Mm-mm.
I told her, I said, I don't want to convince you to do anything. I want this to be a decision that you make of sound mind and body. Because if I have to convince you, all I can do is tell you the value that I bring. And if you view it as being valuable, then great.
Yep.
If you don't, that's okay too, because it doesn't change my self-worth or the worth of my business.
Exactly. So I say as a beginner in business, I think it makes the buyer's fatigue or the buyer decision making quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So like your prices are there, what you do is there, what like it eliminates the back and forth. And because when you're a beginner, you're really trying to build up your clientele. You're trying to get dollars in your pocket. You're trying to get people on the schedule.
Right.
So anything you can eliminate to make somebody make a decision is helpful. And I think that's pretty much how I ran my business for 5 of the 7 years.
Okay.
Now, I did have a scenario where my prices were visible and another photographer created the same thing that was on my site.
Mm.
So it was like you those things happen and it does sting. It hurts a lot, especially when you're a small
Now, how
business
did you know?
because it's literally said the same thing and we live in the same city.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that. Okay. That'll that'll do it.
It said that like I said something too, which I don't regret saying anything because I wouldn't know
What you
how I would.
say?
I I mean I was like, hey, it's the same. Like, and they
Yeah.
denied it, of course. But like, I was like 22. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what to do in these situations. Like, the person was like, okay, if you
Fight
think
me.
I stole your word,
Obviously, you want to fight
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Because I do want to fight you. Because why you lying? You just copied and pasted, and my name is still in this little piece right here that you forgot to take out.
so it's like I was 22. It stung because like I like community. I like connecting with other people, and like here, like Dallas seems big to everybody, but it's really small to me, especially when you just look at the black people. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it gets even smaller. So it's like, dang, it didn't have to be like that. Like,
Right.
but um like I said, I was 22, and so it's like I'm even if I wanted to sue you, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like
Right.
whatever, bro. Like okay, whatever. So yeah, so situations like that happen. So that kind of stung, and that made me not want to like put everything about my packages on display because
Okay.
just like your customers can see it, your competitors can see
Right.
it too. So that did sting. But however, I did restructure things to where I put my business was set up to where you have to book a session with like a introductory session before I
Mm-hmm.
just let you book with me all the time. Like I want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure
The
we
vibe is
work
there.
yeah, I want to make sure we work well together before I just give you full access to my calendar all the
Mm-hmm.
time. So what helped me like come back from that sting is that I made my package for the introductory visible.
Okay.
Everything else after that was not visible to the public.
Okay.
We would discuss it on our call once you book the so that I still had the best of both worlds. I was able to keep some parts of my business
Mm-hmm.
private in between me and the client, but I was also still able to get new clients to book quick without me having the back and forth or the call
Right.
or whatever. But then I ran into another stage in my business where I became way too damn popular.
Mm. That's what people don't talk about, right? So
Right.
being booked and busy is great until that busy start kicking your ass.
Yeah, and so I became really popular, and to this day I still am, and I'm still in that season of trying to figure out how to serve new people but
Mm-hmm.
still be available to my current people,
Mm-hmm.
and also be able to serve people who actually need the service that I do. Because what comes with popularity is people will say whatever it is on the form because they want to work with you. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't care that you only want to shoot. Like, it's like they don't care that you only want to do weddings. They gonna say it's a wedding and then you gonna show up
Right.
at the baby shower.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's going on here? But it's like, I paid you, I booked you, like,
Right.
do the service, but it's like, this isn't the service I want to
Right.
do. Like, and so that's another phase where I had to like remove access, such immediate access
Okay.
to new people, because then in the last year or two I was getting bookings from people that they know they shouldn't have booked me on the call. I had to, like, I was getting to a point where I was refunding people because I was like, I love that you love me, but this is not what I do. It's like, this is
Mm.
not, I don't want to shoot this, or
Right.
you're like, this isn't an actual business. Like, I don't think you thought this through. Do you,
Right.
like, you just want me
On
to
some
take your
picture.
picture.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that, you know, and so
You
I've
it's
had
it's it's Easter and you like, look, pull up.
and so, like, that's really where the wait list came in, where like I like, because I mean, me and you, I've shot with you before, but
Right.
that's really where I was struggling to try to figure out who's for real and who's not, because it was
Right.
hard for me to figure it out because
Right.
everybody filling out the form and saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But like, I would show up to shoots and you're like, I had a call one time where I had a call with a lady and she was like, so when so and so shoots with you, how many looks do they bring? And I'm like, what is that? What, ma'am? What's the business?
Right.
Like, why are you shooting? So it made me it made me start to make sure I'm asking the questions that make that,
Right.
like, it's like you have to think about questions to ask where you know how they answer it will tell you everything you need to know.
Right. Oh, definitely. And also realizing that, like you were saying earlier, everybody's needs are different, and they don't realize that there is a such thing as a luxury service, right? So
Mhm, mhm,
there are tons of amazing photographers, and there are people who offer a luxury service that includes, like you include, I would put you in a luxury service category, same day turnarounds, editing pictures at the event, getting them while it's happening, priding yourself on, oh, I took this at 2 today, it's 7 o'clock, they already
mhm.
have it. And then just the caliber of clientele that you work with, their earning bracket is different from a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And so because of that, your luxury service suits them. And so whereas not everybody needs that service because their business doesn't support the financial contribution that it's going to take to sustain
Or
that.
and yeah, and then I also had to. That's a good. Oh, that's a great point because I actually got caught up in that. Um, because, okay, let me think about what I'm trying to say. So, like you just said, it is a luxury, but it doesn't have to be.
Mhm.
Like, yes, it's a luxury. It's not a need. You could take your own pictures, so that makes it a luxury. But I think people think they have to shoot as often as another person, and
Right,
when
right.
you don't. And I also got caught up in loving or being excited about having a client who shot a lot versus a client I would see like once a month, or not even once a month, like once a quarter. Or
Mhm,
I would
mhm.
see, like, I had a few clients I would literally see them once a year around the same time. And I was And I'm glad I went through this season because I was like trying to create packages where it forced people to shoot like every month or
Mm-hmm.
forced, and I had to check myself because I was like, everybody's not that type of client, or
Right.
everybody might not be pushing out content like that to be shooting. Like the client who shoots with you once a year is just as amazing as the
Right.
client who shoots with you every week. And so because I feel like when you're a small business owner and people are coming at you fast, and people are booking you fast, emails coming in, wait lists, it's like everybody needs me, and I only
Yeah.
want the people who want to pay top dollar. Like
Right.
everybody tell
I
me,
gotta
raise,
eat today.
yeah, everybody's like, raise your price, charge your worth, add tax. It's like
Yeah,
it's so noisy.
it
And so
is.
I'm glad that I went through every season of business that I've gone through, because it brings it back to, this is a business at the end of the day.
Right.
And you need people for this business to run, whether they come see you weekly, whether they come see, like, the people make the business.
Right.
So it's like the more you try to like niche down who that person is, that's less people that you're gonna reach or that are gonna
Right.
need the business. So that was definitely something I got caught up in as well, because like people praise you, people like tell you all these good things about your business, but if it could be, and it could be good, it could be true, but if you take it all in, you could be changing how you do
Yeah.
business. And sometimes everybody's not that shoot every week person, and everybody doesn't need to be, because that
Right.
costs money. Like
Yeah, like I don't even have that many outfits. Like
yeah,
I don't, baby,
and
I
that's
wore
okay.
six
And
outfits this time. Where do you think I'm finna get six more from? Like next week? I
yeah,
don't.
and so that is something I'm really wanting to get back to, is, helping that newbie business owner, like, maybe just get their branding photos set up
Mm-hmm.
for that first shoot ever. And then if I don't see you again to the next year, that's okay. Like, but I feel like there was a lot of pressure to make people shoot all the time, or they felt pressure because I was shooting certain people all the time, and they was like, well, I need to be shooting as often as
Right.
that person or whatever. And it's like, that doesn't always have to be the case. It's kind of just make sure you, whether you're an influencer, business owner, whatever, it's like, what are your needs
Mm-hmm.
um digitally and visually? Like, are you sending out emails? Do you have a website? Like, are you somewhere using photos all the time? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you change the thumbnail every
Right.
video? Like, I feel like people only think about Instagram, and there's way more
Right.
layers to business than just posting a picture on Instagram.
I think for me, the hardest part with the picture taking, like we were talking about earlier, is the outfit piece because it's not so much investing in, you know, paying the money to get the pictures taken. It's now I didn't just had to fund a wardrobe to take the picture, to take pictures in. Whereas I think that when people do have the opportunity to reach like a certain level of influence into where your budget kind of shifts to where you can invest in the photography side more, the digital content side more, because you're not paying so much for the outfit piece of it.
Because the
Because
outfits are coming for free,
because the
or
outfit's coming for free.
yeah,
So you didn't just have to spend, $400 or $500 on clothes, then hair, makeup, then $400 or $500 on pictures. It's like uh, something ain't gonna be getting done,
yeah.
and
I
that's hard.
Yeah. So I will say, every okay, I feel like it's harder for women because we naturally turn into fashion.
Yes,
Like, even if you're not trying to be somebody, like, where'd you get that shirt? I don't know.
right.
My mama gave it to me. Like,
Probably. I took it out my sister closet. If we just be honest, like you have to ask her.
so I always tell my clients who are not like fashion based content creators, um, to think of their outfits as different talking points
Hmm.
in their content. So instead of like, oh, I gotta get 6 outfits together, no, tell me 6 pieces of content that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go find the outfit to match what you're talking about. Instead of just pulling, because that's how you end up with a bunch of pictures after the shoot. You get a bunch of pictures and they look great, and then you're like, I don't even know where I'm finna post this.
Like
Like,
I got on a pink power suit.
but if you go about it like, okay, I need I'm about to start an email series on how to prep your wedding in less than 14 days. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna need photos for 14 different pieces of email. So
Right.
then it gets your brain into the thought process of when you write out these emails, are you talking about writing your vows? Because then maybe you need a jean and a white tee and you laying on the couch
Right.
writing. Now that's photos for that writing vows.
Right.
So now you're looking at it as the content and not like, oh, I need 6 outfits. You really need to look at each outfit as its own story,
Mm-hmm.
because once you post that photo, you're not gonna post that outfit again.
Right.
Or if you do, you're not gonna post it for a while.
Right.
So it's like you might as well make that outfit. It's kind of like a post-it note. So
Mm.
you know how like when you reading a book and you might have blue for like when I'm about to cry, I'm gonna put
Right.
the blue tab, or
Right.
like, oh, this part made me mad, I'm gonna put the red tab. So
Right.
like when you see red, you know like
Right.
every part where it's red, I was mad. So it's like every time you was wearing that white shirt and jeans, your audience is going to remember that outfit because you were talking about that. Oh, it's like, oh, where is that article where she was talking about the vow
Right. She
renewal?
had the
Or where
white
was I
and
supposed to
jeans
go?
on.
They going to, like, it all ties together because the outfit, it's just the visual piece,
Right.
but it's the content that makes the photos live on longer than
Right.
just like, hey, look at me. Like,
Right.
and so that's where I encourage my clients to, instead of just like picking out an outfit, like it's like, okay, why are we shooting? And then the
Right.
outfits come from there. Because if you don't think about it that way, then you do turn into a fashion blogger.
Yeah.
Because then the purpose of your shoot was the outfits, not the content.
Right. Oh, I absolutely love that. You are giving some great advice. And that leads
See
me
what
to,
happened when you in a hotel by yourself and you
listen, brain cells kicking, firing on all cylinders. You like, girl, was that a thought? Jesus. Oh Lord. Girl, I'm telling you, my baby is a pouch head. Like them applesauce pouches and
oh,
them
that used to
yogurt
be Ray.
pouches. He is a pouch head. And we are trying to wean him off of the pouches. And I'm like, this is,
I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast because I feel like people who not parents be judging us. Like, but until you've been with them,
oh
you
yeah,
don't know.
you don't
You
know.
don't know.
They,
But what happened with Ray? Because she was on a pouch thing for a long time, and
yeah.
just snacks in general. She just
Mm-hmm.
wanted snacks. She didn't want to eat nothing. Well, one night, this actually happened like a month ago. We were so exhausted from trying to like negotiate with her to eat
Mm-hmm.
something. Like she was like, "I want crackers. I want this. I want that." And so I said, "Hey, now is dinner time.
Right.
So we're gonna eat dinner and then we're gonna go to sleep." And so what would happen is she would refuse eating.
Mm.
She would go to sleep and then she would wake up in the middle of the night crying because
Hungry.
she was starving. And then we would get her a yogurt or we would get her whatever so she can go
Right.
back to sleep. Well, one night we did not get her whatever, and she's
Mm-hmm.
starving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, she
You gonna
needs
be
to
all
learn
right.
that at the table is when we eat.
Yeah.
Literally the next day, she ate all her breakfast.
Yeah.
She eat all the food at school. At dinner, she tried different food. It was like it took that one night for us to not give her whatever she wanted
Oh
whenever.
yeah. That's all it is. It's they need to see like, oh, okay, well, that ain't work. Okay, well, we'll do this. We'll move on
I
to the
was
next
like,
thing.
and my mama was like, Marca, you didn't know. Because,
Girl,
no, we,
grandmas don't even
and then you,
my
please.
mama, I'm like,
Because if
girl,
it was me back in the day, I
first of
couldn't even
all,
get up from the table until like, I
no.
could not even remove my
No,
body
my
from the
mama is
table.
a marshmallow now. I tell her all the time, like, girl, you so weak. Where was all this energy when I was a child? Like you was coming at
Yeah, they
you
different.
was at my throat.
Yo, mom, like my mama and Ray's Gigi, two different people, but they the
Oh,
same person.
same
It's my mama.
person.
My mama is Gigi, but my mama and
Yeah,
Gigi
a
not the
hundred
same.
percent, 100%. I'm like, girl, you just
But
who
yeah,
are
that's how I
you?
broke the snack brigade or
Yeah,
whatever season we was in. And so now I actually tell her, I'm like, hey, you can have a snack,
yeah,
but you won't have one right now.
right.
We're gonna eat dinner. But after you eat your dinner, you are more than welcome to have your snack.
Yeah,
But we're not just gonna eat snacks all day. And she'll
yeah.
be like, okay. And then we eat food and she get the snack.
And then she
Everybody
like,
happy.
we are good. With all the advice that you're giving right now, how do you feel when people, or do you even have people that reach out to you and they're like, let me pick your brain. I'm trying to start this, or I want to, they want advice from you. Do you feel like, is that something that happens to you often? And do you charge them?
Um it doesn't happen as often.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not on online as much as I used to be. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
on the internet all day, every day. But now, like, I ain't even posted in feed on Instagram this year at all.
Mm.
But um, it did happen a lot, or it does happen. And I'm genuinely honest. I tell people all the time I don't have the capacity to help
Yeah.
you one on one. That's literally the answer I give.
Yeah.
And I'm a I'm an analytical person. I like systems. I like to have somewhere for people to go
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want you to keep asking. I don't want you
Right.
to keep checking with me. I want you to go
Right.
somewhere else. So I just created like a wait list because if I do offer consultations in the future, I am going to charge for it.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time right now, I don't have. Even if I didn't want to charge for it, I don't have the availability to help.
Right.
So when people reach out and like, I want to work with you one on one, or I want to learn from photography from you, right now I do have a wait list because I am working on things because I do want to. My goal is to help 100 photographers or help 100 people with
Mm-hmm.
photography in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I am working on things, but right now I don't have. I don't have it.
Right.
I
Because
don't.
you are now, not only do you run your photography business full time, but you also are now working full time.
I know that's crazy.
Girl, I just got off work before I got on this call, baby. I know it's
I came
it
from a shoot. I came from a shoot. Checked in
it's
and took.
extremely ghetto. Yeah, I know it. I listen.
But yes, I am a full-time influencer marketing manager. Yeah.
How do you like that?
I love what I do. I love the other side. Like I said, I love all things
Mm-hmm.
digital marketing. So it's fun being on the other side and not having to take pictures or
Mm-hmm.
not like it's fun just being on the other side of the influencer world and coming up with the brand campaigns and reaching out to the influencers and negotiating and like so it's fun being on that side of it versus just like I feel like there's an ecosystem where like the brands reach out to the influencer,
Mm-hmm.
they with the campaign, they negotiate pay and all that stuff. Then the influencer, if they have a team, they take it back to their team, they get the photographer, you take the picture, you give the picture back, and then it just goes.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm able to see it from the top.
The top down. Right.
Yeah, versus being the last person to get the information. Now I can see it from above. So
Right.
it's nice to see it from the other side.
Now, as a photographer, do you when let's just say um Amazon. We'll say Coach. We'll just say Coach. Reach you take a picture of your client. They're carrying a Coach bag. Your client has already paid you for the shoot, but then Coach is like, "Oh, I want to use this picture." How does that work with? Are you as the photographer paid, or is just your client paid? Because who owns that picture?
I've been in different scenarios, so this is where working with influencers gets a little tricky, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where I feel like I'm more non-traditional
Okay.
as a photographer. So typically, legally, I own the picture. I should be paid for the picture or whatever. But I like to work for the influencer. I understand how the relationship happens between a brand and an influencer,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no there's no way for me to interject myself into that conversation after the deal is already made.
Right.
So it's like the brand reaches out to the influencer. The influencer, once they sign, they already granted them the rights to the content. Like that
Gotcha.
happens in the initial conversation. So it's like, even if I was to be like, "Oh, you owe me money for blah blah blah," the deal was signed before I even snapped the photo.
Right.
However, um, I have had, but also, let me back up. So I knew that going into building my business
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago. I started as an influencer, so
Right.
I know how those conversations go, and I knew that I needed to price, which is why like you said, a luxury service.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I knew as my business grew, I needed to price myself in a way to where even if I wasn't a part of that conversation, I feel like I was paid well,
Right. 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 You're compensated regardless. Right.
regardless. But I've created my packages to where I do give my clients digital rights to monetize their photos,
Okay.
because I understand that's what they're using them for.
Right.
They're like, I don't want to work with a certain group of people and then penalize them for using the photos with the intent that we
Right.
both know that you're going to use
Right.
it
Right.
for.
Right.
So
Right.
I built my business having that in mind. However, I have had experiences where a brand loved a photo, wanted to use a photo, and the influencer told them that I took it, and the brand has paid me additional.
Okay.
So I will say there are times where the influencer does include me in the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some times where I'm not included. So, but it just comes with the
Yeah.
job. Like, I knew what I signed up for, and I always felt like um God always take care of me,
Right.
money wise. So I just like being in the space. I like working with the people I work with and how I work with them. It's a very sticky conversation because I know traditional photographers, when they hear it, it's like, no, you leaving money on the table or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because I see them. I make the deals now on the other side. I
Right.
know how much people charge to do what, but I also feel like it's just a new industry, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard to. It's like, if you want to get paid from the brands, then you have to be the influencer yourself,
Right.
or
Right.
you have to decide to be a commercial photographer. If you want a check from the brand directly to you, you need to be commercial, or you need to be an influencer too.
Right.
But I feel like trying to force your way into the deal between an influencer and a brand is not the way to go about it,
Right.
in my opinion. But I do understand how the laws work. I do know legally I own the picture,
Right.
but it's just not the way I want to go about making money.
Would you still consider, do you still classify yourself as an influencer?
Yeah. Yes, because no. Okay, I do consider myself a content creator.
Okay.
I don't consider myself an influencer because I feel like that's a job title, and that's not how I make my money.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. How do you view the two?
I think a content creator is just somebody who, okay, so I feel like there's two definitions to
Mm-hmm.
influence. I feel like a content creator is somebody who makes content, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. That could be anybody.
Right.
I feel like influencer to me has the same tone as like a celebrity. Like,
Okay.
or somebody who has influence.
Influence.
So there's two definitions. There's somebody who has influence. They might have a lot of followers or whatever. But then there's the other side of it where I feel like I see the word influencer and I'm like, okay, you making money from this.
Right, right. 'Cause that's the first thing I think.
Yeah. So like I feel like people typically hear influencer and they either think the person's making money or they have a lot of followers, so
Mm-hmm.
they assume the person's making money.
Right.
But I feel like content creator is like you just like making content. You just
Yeah.
like being online. I feel like people consider me an influencer because I have influence and a lot of people know me.
Right.
But I don't consider myself an influencer anymore because I don't make my money from influencing and I
Okay.
don't work with brands. So I just consider myself a content creator and a photographer because people do look to me for content and
Mm-hmm.
they enjoy my content and all that. But I don't know. I just at this stage in my career right now, I don't consider myself an influencer, but I have been an influencer before.
Gotcha. Well, I just saw this thing online where on Threads, Threads. I really like Threads. I
I like Threads
feel like
too.
I
They be going back and forth for too long about stuff, but I like
yeah,
Threads.
I feel like the vibes. Like I literally like posted the story of how I started my business, and I end up getting an interview with the Today Show and CNN. Like just
Okay,
like literally just like from posted on Threads. Like
that's
it
good.
was the most random thing. And but one of the things that I saw today that I wanted to bring up in our conversation was it was a post where people were basically saying that they are going out of their way to avoid the links that they find in people's bios. So like an influencer will post, "Hey, yeah, I got this dress on Amazon." Instead of clicking that link, they'll go to
Mhm.
it, find it, get out of it, and go in another window and open up because they're like, why I think people are saying that they're getting fed up with other people making money off of sharing things. What's your thought on that? I think it's petty as hell.
Yeah, I think it's kind of immature. I mean, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like I think people are tired of being sold to.
Yeah.
Um, but if it, obviously it sold you, you like the dress. It's like
Right. Right. Or you wouldn't even have went to
I
go
mean,
get it.
but I do think so. There's two. I feel like I'm a person who always sees both sides of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand, especially post pandemic. I feel like before the pandemic, like being an influencer was still a secret club. Like I feel like even my own family, they was like, we know Mark could take pictures. We don't know who she taking pictures of. We don't know
Right.
what it like. Nobody really still understood what I did. But I feel like post TikTok era,
Right.
it's like I feel like it was like we was under a curtain
Yeah.
or but behind a curtain, nobody knew what was going on behind there.
Right.
And I feel like after the curtain opened up and everybody has walked into this new world.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now what used to be kind of like not obvious, like
Right.
when somebody was like, "Oh, where'd you get that dress?" It's like, "Oh, girl, I'll send you the link." 5 years ago, the same links you see now was getting
Right.
sent then.
Right.
But then you thought it was like a girl just sending you a dress. You
Not
didn't
knowing she
know
getting a
then
commission.
that she was getting commission. But now I feel like everybody's aware
Yeah.
that when you see a link, they're getting commission. And now it's like, oh, I don't want to help this person get any more money. Like, let me go. So I feel like what people didn't know was happening then, they just
Right.
are aware of it now.
Mm-hmm.
And
And they don't like it.
now that they could see it I feel like they couldn't see it before,
Right.
but I feel like now that they're aware they can see what's going on, they're like, oh, so it's an ad everywhere. Like, oh,
Right.
so this girl, she not just posting dresses because she want to help us get dressed. She posting dresses because she get paid for posting
Cause
dresses.
she at
Like, oh,
work.
yeah. Yeah.
She at work.
But I feel like before, content creators were just cute,
Right.
like,
Right.
like they were cute and it was fun and it was like, oh, I enjoy her content. Oh, I like what she wearing. Oh, but now everybody knows like yeah, I like her content, but if I click this link, she gets like it's like they know
And
every
and
little
they see the
step now.
lifestyle and they're like,
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
see
contributing to her lifestyle.
yeah, they see like I feel like they're just aware, so much awareness to everything now. Everything's kind of out in the open.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what people are tired of. But I also think I mean if you don't want if you want to go out your way and not click the link, okay. But
You
I don't
just
know.
wasting
I
too
just
much
feel like
time.
it's
I
yeah, I
I
just
definitely get it. I definitely understand, but I also feel like that person obviously did the job that they were supposed to do if
yeah,
you
I mean
wanted to get it.
yeah.
I mean,
But I definitely think it's a and I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be the person, but I feel like I'm about to be this person. I definitely think it's a Gen Z thing.
okay.
I think they are kids who that cuz they're the first generation who were born with an iPad and
Right.
grew up on the
Right.
internet like so I feel like they're just tired.
Yeah.
Like they've literally seen ads their whole life on
Yeah.
their phones.
Yeah.
And I think they're just like anti ads,
Yeah.
anti influencer, and like they just sick and tired of living life on a camera or
Right.
through a phone or whatever. So I get it. I feel like every generation, when we were in our 20s or younger or teenagers, we boycotted something. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
I feel like this is just their thing
Yeah.
that they like. But I know it's not just them. That's why I said I don't want to be that person and
Right.
blame Disney. But I do feel like there's a era that we're in where people are just sick of everything costing them something.
Right. Girl,
You
don't get me
like
started on
I can't
feeding
even just
folks.
watch a YouTube
Yeah.
video. It's an ad in there. Like I
Yeah.
think everybody just overwhelmed with just being sold to, but it's the country that we live in. It's
It is.
capitalism.
And it's not going anywhere.
It's not
And I
going
just feel
anywhere.
like I don't even want to
So I
take the
feel like like I mean, not to say that you got to be an influencer, but like you could send links just like the signing up to be an affiliate is literally anybody could do it. You don't
yeah.
have to have. I think now that so many people are doing it, it might have be criteria to it now. But
Right.
like 5 years ago, anybody could be an Amazon affiliate.
Right.
Anybody. You didn't have to be an influencer to do
Right.
that. You signed up and they gave you an account and then you just shared the links.
With all the roles and hats and lenses that you have and wear, you are on a staycation, right? So how does that work with your husband and your daughter? Like as a family, how do y'all coordinate that? Because it's
Um
Tuesday.
yeah, I know, right? Well, one, I have to say I have an amazing partner in life. Like my husband is 10 out of 10, one of one.
Right.
And I'm so grateful to just have a person who understands me as a person. And I'm
Hmm.
not just like, oh, he knows how to make me laugh or oh, he
Right.
knows my favorite drink. Like that man knows like you need a break from us.
Right.
Go take the break. Like
Right.
that type of awareness. And so I have I feel like the older I get, the more I learn about myself and
Hmm.
my inner child. And I grew up not by myself because I have a sister and my mom, she raised us by herself, but I was a lonely child. Like I'm
Mm.
used to being by myself. I think I be all up in here in my
Hmm.
head all day. So that's just been my personality my whole life. I've always been reserved. So people, now that I'm an adult, a lot of people know me from Instagram and know me from like mostly Instagram, but being a photographer, like
Hmm.
a lot of people know me. But my family, like when I became popular, when I started becoming more and more popular online, my family was like, if only these people knew. Yeah, you don't even like people for real. Like
Right. Right.
my family just know me to be like to myself and
Right.
by myself and just my own vibe or whatever. So to go from and most of my relationship with my husband before we got married, he was in the
Right.
military
So y'all
and
go
he
long
was
distance.
long distance. We
Yeah.
were long distance for 7 years. So like I was with him but I wasn't with him.
Right.
Like we was in a committed relationship, but he wasn't here. Like I
Right.
could go to my room, I could be in I could do whatever I want. So to go from that to I was like we got married, but he was still long distance when we got married, and we had our wedding. He had to go back to where he like we literally had our wedding, and then I was pregnant at
Mm-hmm.
my wedding, but he had to go back to where he was stationed, and I would go fly in and see him or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So we went from long distance to him coming home. I'm 9 months pregnant. We about to have a baby. So I went
Mm.
from being by myself to
Right.
not only a man coming into my house,
But a
but a
whole
baby.
kid. Yeah. Yeah. They need me every
So
day. Jesus Christ. Y'all
yeah,
are
and so
clingy.
before Ray was even born, like like I was pregnant while we would have conversations because we knew it was a transition. We
Mm-hmm.
knew like going from long distance 7 years to being in each other's face and having a kid. We
Mm-hmm.
knew that was something we need to like talk about.
Right.
So we would talk about like, okay, whenever you need a break, like if you need a day with your boys or like if you need like
Right.
I want to help you have that break. I don't want us to just feel like we got to be all up under each other, or I don't want you to feel burnt out and don't think you can leave. Like me and him basically was like, I'm gonna need a break. Oh, okay, you gonna need a break. I'm gonna need a break too. Okay,
Right.
good. I'm glad we're on the same page. So we like had that conversation. So we've kind of always, even when Ray was a baby, like he'd be like, "Hey, I got her tonight. Go in the room, close the
Mm-hmm.
door."
Mm-hmm.
Like that was kind of like our thing. And so we kind of have pretty non-traditional jobs. He's a barber, I'm a photographer, and then with my influencer marketing job, I was able to negotiate where I had days remote so I could still run my photography
Mm-hmm.
business, but I don't go in the office every day. So I'm a pretty big scheduler. So I have a day of the week, Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm. Today.
Today, Tuesdays are my days where I work late. I I like when I say late, I come home at like 10 or 11
Mm-hmm.
because I'm at a coffee shop editing pictures. Or Tuesdays, I can cut my wife and mom
Mm-hmm.
brain off, and my husband like, I got you. Tuesday, I got you. I take her to school. I pick her up. I feed her. I bathe her.
Right.
Like, and then Wednesday is his day. So Wednesday, I pick her up from school, and that's his day to stay
Right.
late or go to, or because he's a barber, so he'll cut at the shop, but he might go to his brother's house, cut his hair. But he's back in school now. He's in aviation school,
Mm.
so he'll
He wants to be a
study.
pilot?
Well, he wants to get his degree in he's a crew chief in the Air Force,
Okay.
so he a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to get his degree for his job
That's
that he was
awesome.
doing in the military. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we got a lot going on in that house, child.
Listen, I understand. I
But
understand.
yeah, we had these conversations at the beginning of our marriage where like we never get felt like we had to pressure anybody to show up 100% every day. Like
Right.
if you need that, and he knows me, and and my way to recharge my battery is to be away.
Yeah. That's
Like
me. I need a minute. Like, I am
yeah,
the
he
only girl in
he
my house.
recharges his battery by being social. Like
Right.
he be like, I gotta get out the house. I need to go go hang out with the boys
Right.
or go play basketball with my friends or go
Right.
to the bar. Like he has to go socialize, and then he feels like a new person.
Right.
I need to be in a closet,
That's me.
turn the lights off.
I
I don't want my phone to go off. I don't want you to ask me no questions.
have decision fatigue. That's
No,
one.
it was actually him who made today happen. Because
Mm.
last night I was editing pictures, and I have a dinner tonight, and the restaurant is right next door to this place.
Okay.
So and I love staying here. It's one of my favorite places to
Mm-hmm.
stay. So I was telling my husband, I was like, yeah, I have a dinner tomorrow. And I was like, dang, I wish I would have booked a staycation because it's right next door to my
Mm-hmm.
favorite place. And he was like, oh, you must have a shoot on Wednesday or something. And I was like, no. He was like, so why you didn't book it? And
Mm.
I was like, I was like, I mean, I didn't, because I've been working for 14 days
I
straight.
saw that.
So I had been working for 14 days straight. So I was trying to push myself to show up because I feel like I had
Yeah.
I had
Mm-hmm.
put a lot of the parenting on him for 14 days. So I was like, oh, let me stick around. I'm gonna help out.
Right.
I don't want to like it would just be too much to
Right.
be putting a staycation. I already been working 14 days.
Right.
So I was like, well, I didn't want to leave you hanging. And he was like, girl, book the hotel.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
good.
he was like, it's Tuesday. It's my day. Like,
Yeah.
it's your day. Go take your day. So yeah, I literally booked this last night. I didn't
Yeah.
have to. So it was
I
food stamp.
absolutely love that. Like I said, I'm the only girl at my house. It is very clingy over here. From the top on down. It is,
Yeah.
and I just feel like because I do work full time, run my business, I have decision fatigue. And I literally almost had like a breakdown the other day because my husband asked me what was for dinner. And I'm like, baby, I don't care if y'all don't eat. Eat air. Eat air. Starve. Figure it out. Like, I just got mad. And he was just like, so I'm going to go get something for everybody to eat. And I'm like, do that.
Oh
Because
my
I just got
God.
so worked up over him asking me what was for dinner. Because I'm like, do you know how many decisions I have to
I
make
have to make a
every
day
day? Every day
every
from
day
work to all of my brides,
to myself.
to
I have to
myself,
still make decisions for myself.
trying to
And
juggle all these things. And we kind of had this. My husband and I have been married for 13 years. So we've been married for a long time. And when you get married
y'all been
young,
married me and Robert's whole relationship.
yes, yes, yes. You've been married your whole relationship.
From
Exactly.
boyfriend to marriage, y'all been
But
married the whole time.
as you know, as somebody who's been with the same person, when you grow up in front of somebody, it changes the dynamics of how y'all day to day is. So it may not be as traditional as other couples who met older and then got married, because y'all have
Yeah.
had the opportunity to kind of like see what you like and don't like and kind of go along with that along the way. And so I was telling my husband the other day, I'm like, I don't feel bad because I'm not a homemaker. I am a provider. Like, and I'm okay with being a
Yes.
provider. I was not my self-worth is not tied to what's for dinner. It's
No,
not,
not at
or
all.
if I put the clothes up. Like, that is my self-worth is not tied to that. We went on a cruise for Christmas. I kid you not. The only reason why some of them clothes just came out that suitcase is because I just took my husband to LA for his birthday and we took the suitcase. Because I don't care about them clothes. I ain't finna wear them clothes. So they not bothering nobody. Every time I hear you say, I need to unpack this stuff back here, I'm like, girl, ain't nobody worried about this shit. You leave it alone. It ain't if you obviously don't need to wear it if it's still in the suitcase.
And that suitcase be there to the next trip.
And
And I repack it.
exactly. And so I'm just like, that's just one of them things where I think as women, figuring out that you don't have to be what society says you have to be. And I realize that I like being a provider. I like
Yes.
contributing equally to my home. I know people like, oh, I'm not splitting no bills. Oh, I'm not, baby, I'm gonna do whatever we gotta do to take care of these kids, take care of this house, give us the life we're supposed to
Hmm.
have. I
Hmm.
pride myself on the amount of money that I make. That makes me feel
I do
good.
too. I do too.
Like, except for now, girl, it's tax time, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
not now. Don't talk about it right now. But like
I'm like,
later in the year when we don't gotta
yeah.
really look at it
I was
like
like,
this.
who made that? Oh no, y'all want too much for me, baby. Because you on one end you wanna make all this money so you can show like, hey, I can buy things. Look at what I made. But on the other end, you like, y'all,
I didn't make that.
how,
I didn't make
I
that
didn't.
much.
I made $7. That's
Put me in the
it.
other tax bracket.
That's it. That's it. I need something else. But I just every
No,
time
I agree.
yeah,
I have my I so I have okay, so I have my staycation days, right? But I also have my I'm not answering any
yeah,
questions days.
yeah,
and those are days I don't know when they coming, but I know I can't help
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So I've had that with my husband. He'll be like, "Babe, you think we should eat chicken or steak?" Don't know, don't care.
Don't know,
I
don't
believe
care.
you can decide that for yourself.
I don't know.
And I will keep it going all day.
Yeah.
Like at
Yeah.
first time I did it, I thought I was playing too.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. I was like, I don't want to answer no questions.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, whatever. But I was like, no, for real. I don't want to answer
Cause
no.
look how
Not
many you asking me to where I
I
had to
was
say
like,
that.
every conversation it has to be question
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
Like we can't just talk statements.
Yeah. I don't want to do nothing but talk statements.
If it's not a statement, I don't want it.
I don't want to do. I'm saying that from now on. Sorry, I don't want to do nothing but talk statements. Like if we not talking statements, then what is we
Like if
talking?
you're looking, if it's a question and you're looking for an answer,
Right.
I don't want it.
Outside of that's crazy.
Now,
That's all
if
I
the
got for
question
you.
rhetorical,
Right.
please keep the rhetorical
Yeah.
ones coming because I don't want to respond.
If not, we talking statements. I have nothing else for you but statements. Like that literally is me, and it is the most overwhelming thing. Marka, I could literally talk to you
I know we
all
need to go
day.
to dinner because we do this all the
I
time.
know, because now it's been an hour and I gotta go pick up Lennox from daycare because he get out at 6. I gotta go get my baby.
Please
But
go. Please.
I literally am so proud of you.
Thank
Like
you.
I know it's when you live in greatness, my husband tells us all the time. He's like, you think the stuff that you do is normal. And
Yes.
so you don't realize that it's not. And so he's like, it's my job to remind you, like, what you're doing and what you're accomplishing is not the norm. And so I just want to remind you that what you're doing is not the norm. And it is so encouraging to be like, okay, it's just not me out here up at the crack of dawn, working, looking crazy. Child want to go to the park every day.
Every day.
Every day. That's Lennox.
Ray, now she knows that if it's raining, we're not going. She'd be like, Mommy, it's raining. No park.
No park.
No park.
No park. Like that
Like-
is a thing. And so it's like I find comfort in people showing up online as their true selves. Like I'll come on there, I'll have on a robe, a bonnet, whatever, because if I have to stop and think about what I look like, then I won't do it, right? Because it's like this is so much effort and energy. But I'm thankful that I'm comfortable enough to just be like, today I got my bonnet and my robe on, and that's what we finna get ready to, how we finna talk on this story. Because if I gotta do anything else, no.
Yeah.
If it requires a bra, sometimes it's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's just not my thing. But thank you so much for coming
You're
on.
welcome. I'm for real. We need to go to lunch.
I'm serious too. I'm going to text you. Tell everybody how they can follow you. Where they can follow you.
You can find me on Instagram at being Marca. Or you can follow my photography page. I promise I'm gonna start posting over there. But if you want to see my photography work, you can follow me at Marrica Evans, MarricaEvans. I'm sure it's gonna be written in the show notes.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, you can follow me on either one. Being Marrica is my life, being myself. So if you want to see like behind the scenes of me at photo shoots or my dog, or my life as a mom or a wife, you can check me out there. But if you just want to see my work and what I produce as a photographer, you can follow me on the other page.
And the YouTube.
I mean, you can go over
it's
there.
Some good stuff on there. You have not posted in a while, but it's good
on my
stuff
YouTube
on there.
channel. I just haven't posted in over a year, so they demonetized me. But
the nerve.
I know. But I do want to get back on YouTube because I genuinely love YouTube. Yeah. But I have to have somebody else editing my videos because, as y'all heard, I do too much.
Yeah.
And I don't got time.
That's true. It is a lot.
So you can find me on Instagram for now.
Yes. Well, thank you again. And thank all of y'all for listening and tuning in to another episode of Wedding to Wife next week. Don't know what day you're listening to this, but this episode is coming out very soon. So Stay tuned, and all of her information will be in the show notes. Marca, thank you again. And I'm going to go pick up Linux. So,
Okay, bye.
bye.